Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we are diving into a special match, a show match between two Japanese teams, one being Secret Ship, here that you can see on the screen, a qualifying team for Worlds, and from the translation what I can pick up is their opposing team is like a ragtag team of competitors that have competed through the various series. So you can see it's a little bit of like pre-Worlds promotion. I think this is basically just marketing. They have them set up like in like a boot camp or something. Some are playing on mobile, some are playing on Switch. And I want to take a second to pause this. It's just one game that they posted on their YouTube, and let's look at what's going on in Japan, right? It's always nice to kind of catch up a little bit. So for the left side team, which I believe is, like I said, the kind of ragtaggy team, they're running double EXP share on Snorlax and Eldegoss. They have a Dragonite, which I'm assuming is going to be in the jungle, a Cramorant, and a Charizard. For the right side team, they have an Eldegoss, they have a Squirtle or a Blastoise with a Trevenant, a Ninetales, and a Dragonite. So these picks are a little bit all over the place. I'm assuming that they are not using emblems, so that's just something to think about. But interesting picks. Let's see how they decide to play. I'm going to try to give my thoughts about what's going on here, right? Like what's going on in this meta. So we got a little bit of split jungle action going on here on the side of Secret Ship. They're going to be getting some of those early levels to the Squirtle, which I think is really cool, considering that Squirtle and Blastoise in general is like not a bad pick, but oh my god, the laning phase is so terrible. When you're running something like a Dragonite, you don't really need to try to rush level 9, and I also think that in competitive, whenever you're looking at the bigger picture, trying to get your team ahead is maybe sometimes more important than just rushing level 9. As for the left side team, they're doing what we've seen a lot more on the eastern side of things, where they essentially will like do like a tri-lane or like a duo tri-lane split, and then they'll send their jungler back into the jungle to clear. So they're trying to be really aggressive for the early lane farm. So you can see on the look at the map at the top left, they have their Dragonite that is now barely going back into the jungle to go for a clear. But all of this, I guess he had gotten a red buff, or maybe it was a time skip. No, he didn't have a red buff. I saw it on the map. So he goes straight to lane and he starts attacking the lane, and then he'll leave to go back into the jungle. So I always thought this was a really interesting strategy, because when you do that, there's like a 0% chance of any kind of third rotation option and forcing level 9 without just getting kills and score. So the Japanese teams, from what I can tell, like to be very aggressive in lane, but they're not necessarily like in total trying to min-max the experience that's possible to get. They're trying to be stronger and get an advantage, and then they take that advantage and like try to carry it into Dreadnought if they can. So it's a really unique way of playing the game. It's not super new. It's definitely something we've seen from them before, and I can't tell how much of this video is like edited, so we might be missing some things, but we're gonna watch whatever they put out. So because they have some of these cuts and things. So Snorlax looks like the left side team rotating down. They're going to be putting a little bit of pressure here near this bottom path, and it's actually really aggressive because he was in the top lane, but there's still a whole minute till Dreadnought. So, oh, Secret Ship turned that around. Pretty good. Pretty good. I wonder what kind of controller that is. I wonder what kind of controller that is. Interesting. But yeah, you can see the levels. Like it's really like flat across the board. I'd say the left side Dragonite is the highest. Just looking at it, they're at level 7. But really the levels are pretty flat across the board. Everybody just kind of shares a little bit of everything. Nobody's really pushing or reaching for level 9 because you kind of can't. And yeah, we'll see what they decide to do, how they decide to prioritize this like 7-minute mark. So Secret Ship has some people in bot lane. Left side team, purple side team has their Cram in top lane. 720Bs are up, and we're seeing a little bit of action around this. Oh, they have the heal. I can never remember. No, it's not Spore. Cotton Puff, Pollen Puff. I can never remember the names of all these abilities. I feel bad. Okay, but they're actually posturing forward. Also, just another thing to say is that Snorlax is much more popular in the Eastern world. I've even seen like Japanese streamer Obion, and he put Snorlax in like A tier on his tier list. I try to keep up with Japanese meta, just even content creators and things. Ooh, Secret Ship just getting that. There was no Dragonite that I could see. I think they got it afterward, or maybe there just wasn't the Hyper Beam that was in the right position. Actually, I'm going to take a look back at that because I was talking about tier lists. So but yeah, Snorlax way more popular in the Eastern world than we see here in the Western world. So he had stacks on this and everything. I'm surprised the left side Dragonite it just happened so quickly. He wasn't able to kind of like get the Hyper Beam set up the way that he wanted fast enough. But that's part of the Dragonite skill. You have to kind of like get prepared for it really, really quickly, and then anticipate the damage and Hyper Beam at the same time. So Secret Chip has the advantage, the clear advantage here. I was going to say, against the Snorlax, super hard to push, so we won't see them pushing against that, but does look like Secret Chip's Squirtle, or their War Turtle, was able to get some top lane. And ooh, a Jungle Invade. Nice. Jungle Invade from Cram. Look at that burst. It's so nice. Air Slash Dive. We'll see how they decide to handle Rotom, if anything. Probably just being aggressive on the bottom lane. They probably want to just knock out this tower if they can. Looks like that's the play. Maybe like giving it a delayed kind of push to let people rotate away, so that way they have a numbers advantage. But now we do have the Dragonite Unite move coming out from the purple side team. So a little bit of a clapback. Ooh, that was really nice CC and really nice follow-up. But the Trevenant Unite move kind of like pushing that a little bit further. But Secret Chip kind of coming back in with a bit of a rebuttal from their own like teammates and a Unite move. So we'll see. This is a really scrappy game. Lots of fighting. Charizard Unite move goes off, and I think that, yeah, I was gonna say the Ninetales is probably gonna fall down there. It's really hard to keep somebody alive during the Ninetales ult. And the Snorlax is just putting in so much work this game. You see the X speed, he runs away, he's going to go instantly for the berries, so he denies berries at the same time, he gets himself out. That's a pretty common thing too. I think I've VOD reviewed a Snorlax or like a Japanese game in the past where Snorlaxes will play really aggressive in the early game, just going for some of the berries, because stealing berries is just an easy thing to do. So you can like push for the bottom lane farm and then get really aggressive for the berries, rotate around through the jungle, use the speed boost from the berries from the passive to kind of make that happen. So it's pretty crazy to be able to do that. So all right, 5 minutes on the clock. We'll see what they got going on here. All right, fighting over second dread. Look at this, it's just huge flips, man. Secret Chip grabs it again. They just are so incredibly scrappy. That's one thing that I'm noticing right now in these Eastern teams. And again, Snorlax doing the same play. I don't think he'll have a berry. No, he does have a berry. I was gonna say, it's such a safe play that they do. They run towards berries, they rotate around, they take the jump pad, they jump over. I've seen it in Japan gameplay 1,000 times. It's actually really funny how almost like scripted of a Snorlax play that is. Cramorant's trying to get this Rotom in, but I just think there's a little bit too much follow-up, so not going to be able to do that. So he's going to have to just try to back up if he can. He used the Unite move, and if you look at it, this game has been very fight heavy, but there's not like a ton of scoring, and they don't like, neither team is like taking huge strides over the other. So the score is like relatively low for the 4-minute mark. And like there's 3 tier 1 goals still up. This one on the bottom lane hasn't been scored on at all. So a lot going on. And this Cramorant's persistent. He's gonna get that score in if he can. All right, like a near like last. How do you put this? I was gonna say like the last section of using Unite moves. They make a big 5-man push. They see the Cramorant in the top lane, so they want to push for this because they know that they can crush this goal if they can. Didn't see what the score was. It was 22. Was there a follow-up score on it? 30. So they put 50 on that. I didn't see what it was. But the Snorlax also scored from the opposing side on that top lane goal. So they're trading scores here. And it looks like the purple side team has an advantage. But Secret Chip has been fighting together a little bit better. Maybe a little bit more coordinated in terms of their teamwork. But nonetheless, I got to be honest. I think this is the most scrappy of a Japanese gameplay that I've ever seen. I don't usually feel like Japanese teams fight a ton, but maybe that's been the progression of their meta. It's been, I want to say, slightly hard to keep up with because we just don't really get to see a ton of their gameplay. And they're breaking this one. Look at this. Oh, wow. I wonder if that was intentional. I just didn't want to stop it. Didn't know if they had time to. But they could have overcapped a little bit there. But over 100 points now from the purple side. Secret Chip, though, I feel like they have synergy and they have a little bit of levels. The purple side Cramorant's the highest level in the game. And looking at the new spectator client, we see that Secret Chip is still missing 4 Unite moves, but they'll probably get those momentarily. Left side team is going to have all of theirs, most likely with Dragonite being the only person that doesn't have one yet, which comes back fast because you usually don't use the full percentage. But 17 seconds. And yeah, we'll probably see, ooh, if you can get this Rotom, that'd be really nice pressure. And again, the Cramorant on the back cap, he's just using that high mobility to constantly score. That provides a lot of pressure to them, right? Because it's going to at very least mentally make them feel like they have to make a decision. And look at this. The Blastoise going in really aggressive and trying to put some damage down. They are going to get the heal from the Eldegoss. So now this fight's coming out. The Cramorant on the backside putting a lot of damage onto the Trevenant, but not really necessarily the best Cram Unite move that you would possibly see. He's going to get himself just completely wiped out. He dove in really quickly. The Rotom goes in on the top side, but I don't think it matters. Secret Chip, like I said, maybe we're not doing the best in like that early laning phase, but it doesn't really seem like it matters much because they do have the kind of like coordination to work together, and it looks like they're just kind of dismantling. Also, I think that might be a rapid spin hydro pump Blastoise, like the burst damage, but also maybe he's using like a muscle band or something, because he's definitely not water spouting. Look at him, you can see it, you can see he's hydro pump. That's really interesting, really interesting. I mean, I really can't break down why that is, but Secret Ship was behind in score, and maybe even just like for the sake of saying, like maybe behind in macro play. They weren't really controlling the map the best they could. They had the Cramorant kind of running around on them, but this is, like I said, a really scrappy game. But they come in and every single team fight, they looked a little bit more coordinated than kind of like the ragtaggy group, which I guess you should expect from a team of kind of like you know, people that haven't been playing together for as long. And again, that's the translation that I kind of got from it. But Purple's Eye team, not completely out of it. It's only a 200-point lead, and they're making a big push on this bottom tower. So they score 60. They have to get more of a push in. The Ninetales is up, but if they can potentially score here, would be huge. If they wipe out this Ninetales, there's 3 of them. Look at this. The Charizard's trying to get it in. He's not going to be able to get that score in. So if they wipe out this Ninetales, but the Blastoise is there and the Dragonite's there, that's going to make this incredibly hard. They get a score on the Snorlax, but they have to base score here, and there's just such little time. So a really close game, really close game, which I think says probably more about the region and less about Secret Ship specifically. The thing that I'm thinking here is this is all pre-Worlds promotion, right? Pre-Worlds marketing. Really different play style than what we're used to. Different compositions, different play style. It's going to be really interesting to see how this stacks up against teams in different regions. So really looking forward to it. Friends, thank you so much for watching this kind of re-dive into the Japanese meta to see what's going on. It's really interesting. So looking forward to seeing Secret Ship play, looking forward to seeing Worlds and all that it has to offer. As always, drop a like in the video, comment for me, hit me with that algorithm, subscribe to the channel for future Pokemon Unite content. We're going to be doing a big watch party for Worlds. I might even be doing the watch party with Chris Heroes, so we'll be up just like dual streaming that potentially. We'll see. And yeah, thank you guys so much. As always, be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.